back. It's your girl, Icy Mona, and I'm here to do the review of Jocelyn's Cabaret Reunion Part 1. So just a little warning, I'm really about to go in because Jocelyn is just doing the absolute most. But before we start, I just want to do a quick little updates. For one, since it's been a while since I've seen y'all. But for one, I don't think I'm going to be reviewing Love and Hip Hop ATL. Honestly, I'm just really not feeling the season like that. And I don't feel like reviewing it. With that being said, obviously, I'm continuing to review Jocelyn with the reunion. I don't know if she's going to have a part 2 or part 3. I'll do that. I do plan on doing Real Housewives of Atlanta when it comes back. Even though there's been some controversy if Portia's coming back and all that stuff. I do for sure plan on doing that. But in between time, if y'all want me to review something, let me know in the comments. You can also slide in my DMs on my socials and let me know if there's something that y'all want me to review. Since there'll be a little bit of a break, I will be uploading some funny story times. I did a poll on my Twitter the other day and y'all picked what story time that I should do. So I'll be uploading some story times, probably an update on my fitness and how my body is looking now after the whole abdomen journey, epidemic, whatever. And also, I will have a vlog coming out soon because as y'all can see, my background is different. I am in a hotel in LA. For those of y'all who know, some of y'all may not know, I am a model. I got signed during the pandemic, but your girl was getting no work. And I actually just started recently getting some work. So y'all will be seeing this face a lot more on the movie screens and on other platforms. That's all I can say right now. But I'll be having a vlog coming out about my trip in LA and some of my modeling stuff, some BTS behind the scenes for y'all. So yeah, that's about it with the updates, but let's get into this review. First off, let's start with the opening. So as y'all know, live your best life. Dude, like it's my B-day, baby. Yeah, so when they opened up with the review, Jocelyn had like a live version of it, like her on stage. No lie, Jocelyn looked hella good, hair on point, outfit on point, but it was beyond extra. Like literally, when I saw it open up and she was doing it live, I was just like, rolls eyes, like, girl. Like, I was honestly screaming, like, weak, because she was doing the most. So then the next scene, we have Barbie, Boss Tech, and Miss Natural. They're getting their hair and makeup done in, like, the little powder room or whatever. And first things first, Barbie looks crazy per usual. Plastic, ew. Miss Natural, she looked really good. Like she had like this blonde wig on. Like I think I've said this before in my reviews, but Miss Natural literally makes me want to get dreads because her dreads are so pretty. And I feel like braids and stuff, like just hair being parted, which by the way, I did these by myself. I'm starting to get better at them, y'all. But she inspires me. Like I kind of want to get my hair dreaded, especially knowing you could put wigs on and all that stuff. Like Miss Natural looked good. And then Boss Tech, she had like the faux lock. She looked good as well too. So basically it starts off with Barbie. She starts talking about how she feels betrayed. And she's just saying how, obviously by Jocelyn, I'm assuming. But she was saying how like, oh, she's going to discuss it more when she's on stage. How she feels betrayed by the people who are going to be present there. And then Barbie starts saying how the editing made her look like she got dog walked when she had fought Lucky. And she wished they would have showed her actually getting some hits in. Now, bitch. Even if you did get some hits in, Lucky still looked untouched. So it doesn't even matter. And then it had me weak because Miss Natural was just sitting there kind of like, okay, I'm not gonna say nothing. Like, you got your ass beat. Just take that L. Like, it's cool. So then Boss Tech, she ends up saying if she could do it again, she would be more dedicated to the show and basically not focus on the ratchet, rah-rah shit and throwing 10 bands in the air, you know? And then Miss Natural, she was like, I just wanted to for real dance. I didn't come here for Jocelyn's Bad Girls Club. We just focus on drama all the time. And that is true. And especially for someone like Miss Natural and even Yummy, even though I don't like Yummy, but for people like them who are actually trained dancers, they probably did come in thinking it was going to be a different experience and not, like she said, Bad Girls Club when we find each other. So then the producers asked them, or whoever's on set asked them, have they gotten more growth in fans? Boss Tech, she starts saying like, yeah, like, and her putting out all her alcohol, like abuse stuff out there, it actually was helpful because fans came out in support and also fans came out saying that, you know, they're going through the same thing too and that she could relate. But then Boss Tech starts ranting about how she saw, you know, because after the show ended, they obviously watched the show back. And we all know with editing and people being shady in their confessionals, they probably saw some shit. Boss starts ranting how like Chanel was talking behind her back. I'm pretty sure she's referring to the kitchen scene when Chanel was telling Jocelyn and the other girls at that time how she was tripping and she was over her drinking and all that. So she's basically talking mess about her, how she's just mad that she was talking shit or whatever. And Miss Natural was low-key trying to defend Chanel, and she was like, honestly, she wasn't talking shit. Like, before that scene happened, she was trying to talk to you in the car, but you was going off on her. And then Boss Tech's like, but I was drunk. Why couldn't she talk to me when I was sober? Blah, blah, blah. And then Boss Tech started talking about how, like, I let her wear my clothes, and I shared this and this with her, and that's how she do me. And she starts to, like, stand up. And Miss Natural's kind of like, pause. Like, why are you standing up? Like, chill. And I feel her on that. Like, if you're talking to somebody and you're sitting down, if you stand up, I'm automatically gonna think that you're trying to fight. Like, that's literally, like, threatening in your body language. Like, chill. And then Barbie jumps in, and she says she feels a way about Chanel, too, because she was also sharing her clothes and her belongings. They low-key trying to make it seem like Chanel's, like, a bum bitch, pretty much. But she was saying how, like, as soon as she left, she saw how Chanel was like, oh, I'm glad she's gone. And Miss Natural was like, honestly, on this show, nobody knows how to be a friend or a sister. That's what this show obviously was not for. And then Bostic was like, well, Chanel was fake, whoop-de-whoop. And Miss Natural was like, and you not? Like, I love Miss Natural because she keeps it so solid. Like, she will tell it for real how it is. She don't sugarcoat nothing. So then the producer asked, what do y'all want to take away from this reunion? And Miss Natural, she's like, she want to whoop Yummy's ass. Which, granted, she should. And Barbie was like, she just want to say her piece and say her truth, whatever. And then Bostic was like, she just wants them to be seen in a positive light. So then in the next scene, we have Chanel and Aqua. They're getting their makeup done in the little powder room. And they start catching up a little bit. To be real with you, this was more so Chanel talking. Like, Aqua really was kind of like not here for it at all. Like, her expression and her face was just kind of like, I really don't feel like being here. Like, okay. But to be real with you, I didn't even recognize that was Aqua. Like, I was like, damn. Like, not in no bad way, but I just did not recognize her. Like, I don't know. But Chanel asked her, like, how she feel coming back to the house and if she's excited to see anybody. And Aqua was like, no. And then she was saying how being in the house was just so turbulent. And honestly, she don't got time for that bullshit. And then Chanel was saying how, like, yeah, she had heard interviews and stuff about, like, people talking about Aqua. And she truly does feel like Aqua is not a bad person. And then Chanel was saying how she don't really fuck with Yummy because of Yummy attacking her and also attacking Miss Natural for no reason. And Aqua was like, I mean, to be honest, after I left, like, I didn't really watch the remainder. And I was just like, damn. Like, Aqua was for real, like, over it, done, deuces. And then Chanel was just basically like, oh, like, I hope everything can be peaceful. And they're just both talking about how they hope their reunion can go smooth and clean. And Aqua's like, yeah, I didn't wear my nails just in case, because we know these bitches be fighting. So then in the next scene, we have Lunel and the other host. I don't remember her name right now. I have it written later on in my notes because they didn't have her name pop up at first. I don't know why. Like, editing, what are y'all doing? But they're outside, like, the little trailer, and the other host asked Lunel, like, what do you want to address from the show? And Lunel says that she wants to address Miss Natural because her voice was like nails on a chalkboard, and she needs to learn how to get her point across without yelling and screaming. And I mean, I guess, like, for one, Jocelyn really did have Miss Natural effed up, and so did Yummy, so she had every reason to react the way she did. Granted, she could have toned it down a little bit, but I don't know why she was already coming for her so hard off rip. And then Lunel asks, like, the other host, like, oh, would you be ready to scrap if the girls are, you know, trying to get down? And the girl's like, yeah, I'm from the islands. And Lunel's like, oh, like, I'm from Oakland, which, granted, honestly, I didn't know she was from Oakland. I know who Lunel is, but West Side, especially NorCal. So then this next scene that we get, this is when it starts to get tense. This is before the reunion is actually happening, before people are on stage. So basically, at first we see Jocelyn and Ballistic. They're meeting with Lunel in, like, their little dressing room or whatever. That's what it's called, dress room, not powder room. But basically, Jocelyn's telling her, thank you so much for hosting. Like, and then she starts saying, like, oh, you know, my ladies are cuckoo and they flipped out on me already. So she's over here trying to play victim. And then it cuts to a scene where it's very chaotic. It's like the girls like backstage or whatever. And it's Miss Natural going off, basically talking about Jocelyn. And she says, she told Sapphire that man is dead and gone and get over it. Like, what the fuck? And then it's like Jocelyn's trying to kick Miss Natural out. There's a whole lot going on. And then it cuts to basically a voiceover, like it kind of blacks out. And it cuts to like a voiceover of the producers basically saying that Jocelyn wanted to have a meeting with the girls before they went on stage to discuss some of the things that were being said on social media. The girls was talking shit on social media about Jocelyn in the show. And basically, she put together this impromptu meeting. And during the meeting, Sapphire and Jocelyn got into a really big disagreement over the death of Sapphire's, the father of her child. And Miss Natural basically jumped in to defend her. Now, I'm confused with why Sapphire's, like, baby daddy or whatever has anything to do with the show. Like, that's just kind of random. So then it cuts back to Jocelyn basically telling Lunel how she gave them a purpose and how they're disrespecting her. At this point, honestly, Jocelyn's delusional. She's acting like, literally, Jocelyn is acting like she gave these girls a full ride scholarship to an Ivy League. You literally put these girls on this show and exploited them so you can make money off of them and still remain relevant. Like, you're acting like you are literally like some god who really like helped them out. Like, I'm confused. So then it cuts to a scene of like Sapphire. She's crying to Miss Natural and she's talking about the death of the father of her child. My bad, I don't want to say baby daddy because she brings that up. But basically, because I was just on Sapphire's Instagram maybe like 2 weeks ago and I did see that he had passed, but I didn't realize when they were filming this reunion that he had just passed. So it had to be within that same week because Sapphire started going off and she was like, my kids had a fucking father. You had a baby daddy. He not even buried yet. He just died last Friday night and you telling me he dead and gone? No lie. Jocelyn is honestly a horrible person. Like, for one, she literally just lost this man. Why would you tell her that he's dead and gone, get over it? Like, that is honestly cruel. Like, Sapphire's for real, she better than me. I mean, I'm still growing as a person, but I'm honestly not there yet. But if that were me in that situation, because I've already mentioned to y'all before, like, how I've lost my dad when I was a kid. And I've seen what my mom has gone through, just losing, like, the love of her life and her college sweetheart, how much it's, like, affected her. If that would have happened to me, Jocelyn saying that to me, I literally would have caught a case that day, like dead ass. And it would have been no misdemeanor charge if we being for real. Like, Jocelyn really has a lot of nerve. Like, she's hella bold for no reason because I was just totally uncalled for. Like, what the fuck? And then they have like Lucky and Big Legs. They're in the parking lot too to support like Sapphire or whatever. And Big Legs almost started crying because like I said, that's so fucked up. How do you tell this woman who just lost the father of her child that he's dead and gone? Get over it. Because if the roles were reversed and someone said that about Stevie J or about Ballistic, you would have went the fuck off and you would have been fighting. Like, it's just so heartless to me, honestly. Like, that shit alone, honestly, I was like, okay, I'm going to do this review for this reunion, part 1, 2, 3, whatever. But I don't know if she has a season 3, because I'm pretty sure she's going to lose a lot of viewers after this. Because I've been seeing her get dragged on Twitter, which granted she needed to. But I don't even know if I would review a season 3 because it's like Jocelyn's honestly a fucked up person. Like, are you serious? So then Sapphire, she's talking to them and she's, like I said, she's handling it like a G. Like I said, couldn't be me because Jocelyn would have got her shit knocked. But Sapphire was like, she wanted to hurt me. That's what Scorpios do. And I already told y'all about them Scorpios. Like, them Scorpios are evil. Not all of them, but they do have a mean streak. Oh yeah, and then she started talking about how, like, I guess Jocelyn was telling them about like being on stage and what they can and can't say, and Sapphire was basically saying like, how you gonna tell us like what we can say, like we puppets or whatever. So basically Jocelyn didn't want them to talk negative about the show at all in their experience, but it's like, it's reality TV. That's what they actually went through. That's the whole point of a reunion, so y'all can discuss what happened during the season and even the behind the scenes stuff that we didn't see. So how are you going to control them and be like, oh, you can't say this, you can't say that? Like, that don't even make sense. Just because you want to make yourself look good? I'm like, no, if you're a shitty person, then you're just a shitty person. Like, that's just what it is. All right. So now we finally get to reunion, the girls on stage. So all the ladies come out. They have them come out separate. I believe the first group is like, it's Miss Natural, Lucky, Sapphire, Lexi Blow. They come out first, and then it's Aqua, Yummy, Chanel, and Barbie and Boss Tech. I think I got everybody, but yeah, they have them come out separate. First off, I want to say shout out to the production crew, because the way they filmed this, they made this so dramatic and just like it was almost as if it was like a scary movie. Like, I love the production of this. Like, they really did their thing. But yeah, so they come out on stage or whatever, and they kind of sit on like opposite sides based on the groups that I told y'all. And then the main host comes out. Her name is Janisha. She comes out and joins them. And then after that, Lunel comes out and joins them. After Lunel comes out, she has them all like introduce themselves individually to her. And then Ballistic joins on stage. Then they have Jocelyn come out. And Jocelyn is being carried by these like 4 big, strong men in this literally little carrier thing. My thing is, if you was gonna be hella dramatic and do all that shit, it should have been a big, like, you know, you really coming out like Princess of Egypt type thing. But it literally was like this little tiny box, and she just sitting on there like, I don't know. It was just like, Jocelyn is just so extra, like so extra. She was doing the most, but no lie, I was weak as fuck. I can't even lie to you. So when she's coming out, being carried on this thing, the camera zooms in on the ladies to the right, which is like Sapphire, Miss Natural, and all them. And of course they roll in their eyes, which honestly they deserve to be rolling their eyes, because it's like Jocelyn was doing the most, and especially because the shit just happened where she had Sapphire fucked up and they already on her side. Like, it's bad. So Jocelyn's literally on 10 when she comes out, which I don't know why, because it's just like, girl, you have Sapphire extremely fucked up. Like, honestly, you have all these girls fucked up from this past season, but you have her extremely fucked up. So she was just on 10. She came out on some bullshit, and she was, after she sat down, she was over there like, oh, I see some of y'all hoes hating on me and looking mean and ugly. And she was like, you hate to see a bitch win, huh? And I'm just like confused, because I'm like, why is there so much hostility when you literally have Sapphire beyond fucked up? Like, it's just not making sense. Make it make sense, please. And then she points out the couch with like Sapphire, Lucky, and Big Lex and all them. And she was like, I guess this is the mad couch, huh? Y'all hoes look real dumb, huffing and puffing over a bitch who gave y'all this stage. And it's like, Jocelyn has literally at this point just lost it. Like, she literally is on her high horse, and I really do not understand why. Lunel was kind of trying to ease the tension, and she made a joke saying, oh, like, we almost wore the same thing, talking about her and Jocelyn's outfit. And Big Lex was like, yeah, y'all got the same sequins. And then Jocelyn starts getting funky with her, and it's like, do you want to do the reunion from outside? Do you want to do it from the outside? Why is your like first thing when someone has you pissed off to be like, oh, you could do the reunion from outside, you can get kicked off? Like, I feel like that's just some weak bitch shit. Like, a whole reunion is about talking about what has happened or whatever. And at that, Big Lex literally said that shit and wasn't even trying to, well, I didn't think she was trying to be smart, but it's like, she's just so about it. Like, Jocelyn's just acting real lame, honestly. Like, her true colors are showing. Jocelyn tells them, I don't need to hear shit from y'all since y'all mad. And it's like, I hate how she's trying to control them. Like I said, once again, it's a reunion. They have the right to say their opinion. At the end of the day, this is on Zeus Network. Yeah, you're the executive producer, but you don't own Zeus. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if anything, they probably have the ultimate power. So it's like, chill. Because, yeah, you're executive producer, but this is on their network. If they wanted to fire you, they could. So chill. When she says that comment, the girls on the couch are like who mad, Jocelyn? Like basically, like, you tripping. And Sapphire was the main one who kind of like bucked up and said that. And then Jocelyn tells Sapphire, IDK, why you here? You going through personal issues. You don't even need to be here. Going off on her. And I'm just like, whoa. Like, why are you attacking this girl? Like, she literally just lost the father of her child. And you keep coming for her and you keep attacking her for no reason. Like, it's starting to give off jealous. Like, I'm confused. And I'm glad that Sapphire snapped back. Like, literally, with this reunion so far, Sapphire, Miss Natural, and Big Lex, they not having that shit. They're not fucking around with Jocelyn. And you could peep that Jocelyn is low-key intimidated by them because they're standing on their shit 10 toes down, which they need to, because, like, you're not about to talk to me crazy. But Sapphire told her, like, I'm exactly where I need to be. Like, yes, Sapphire, please tell this bitch. Like, please. So then Jocelyn starts talking to the host, Janisha, and she tells her that her and her homegirls were basically online and they saw what some other girls were saying. And she's like, oh, how could they do that after she gave them an opportunity? And then she starts going in, talking about how nobody cares about their fake change and they nappy wigs, but they no edges. And Lunell's like, whoa, like, where's the love? And Jocelyn's like, the love is gonna come when the bitches give me love and respect. I gave all them bitches love and respect. What did them bitches do for me? First off, Jocelyn, you didn't give any of these girls love and respect. You acted like you gave them love and respect, but we all saw you drag each one of them in these confessionals. I've already said it before in my reviews. Jocelyn don't care about these girls. She just care about the money, honestly. And when Jocelyn's saying like, oh, what do they do for me? They provided you a show, because without these girls, there would be no Cabaret, like dead ass. Like, no one's tuning in to just see Jocelyn act like regular Jocelyn, like we've been seen on Love and Hip Hop. We tuned in to see a Cabaret performance, which was honestly shitty, if we're being real. Like I already told y'all in my last review, I felt like it was kind of low budget. Like, so then Jocelyn, she starts standing up. There goes that standing up shit again. She starts standing up and it's like, if y'all bitches didn't have phones or Instagram or social media, y'all want to be shit. But guess who's still going to be hot? Me. I've been 10 decades in this bitch. First of all, Jocelyn already has trouble with her English. And I guess apparently she can't do math either, because 10 decades, like, are you stupid? I guess so. And my thing is this. It's like, I just don't understand why Jocelyn's on this high horse talking about y'all want to be shit without me. If we're being realistic, if it wasn't for Miss Mona Scott Young, you wouldn't be shit. You would still be in the strip club and you would still be fucking on Mimi's sloppy seconds, Stevie J. So it's like, chill. Please have several seats. So then Sapphire, she starts laughing low-key, because it's just like, what the fuck? And Jocelyn's like, oh, why are you laughing? You could laugh outside, blah, blah, blah. Here she go trying to kick the girls out, because she really cannot handle the pressure. Because I feel like Jocelyn deep down knows she has these girls fucked up, and she knows which girls she can run and control, but she knows she cannot control them. The only thing that she can do is kick them outside. Because honestly, if we being real, Sapphire whooped that ass, Big Lexa whooped that ass, and Miss Natural will for sure whoop that ass. Like, so then Lunell, she steps in, thinking she's doing something good, and she's over there like, well, first off, we're dealing with strippers, hoes, and prostitutes. And it's like, whoa. Even Miss Natural was like, who you calling a hoe? And it honestly is very degrading, because it's like, Lunell, for someone who claims that she used to be a prostitute or whatever, you should know how that feels since you've grown so much. So why would you degrade them like that? And then she tries to switch it up, and she was like, okay, well, I mean, the girls came in with low self-esteem. Who came in for low self-esteem? This show was not Ilana Fix My Life. This was not like that show that Monique had or Charm School or whatever. This show was strictly supposed to be about taking girls out the strip club and making them professional dancers in a cabaret. This had nothing to do with their, like, for real personal. So I don't know why she's coming at them like that. Like, that was just fucked up. And I don't know why Lunell is so much on Jocelyn's dick. Like, she literally is just her guard dog, just barking. Like, what the fuck? And when she said that comment, Big Lex was like, skirt, like low self-esteem, like who is everybody? And then Lunell tries to cover, like fix her shit. And she was like, look, when I said growth, she's like, well, see how y'all like get mad at me for saying like, ho, see, that's growth right there. And then she does tell Jocelyn, she was like, and Jocelyn, you are right. Because Jocelyn was like, these bitches only here for themselves. She was like, yes, they are here for themselves. And they should be, which is true. And then she was telling her, like, you can't demand respect. They have to want to give that to you. But then she started saying how the girls was, like, toe up before they came here. And it's like, some of them, granted, yes. But some of them, no. Like, Bossek. Like, we know Bossek was being hella cocky and shit. Bossek was already made before she came here. She already had her following hella shit. So it's like, I don't know why she is coming at these girls so sideways. Like, I was really just like, for one, who picked her to be the host? Like, who thought this was a good idea? The only person who needed to be up there is Ballistic and Janisha, because Janisha handled herself very well, and you could tell in the back of her head she was thinking like, this is hella ghetto. Like, what am I doing here? So then they do a flashback of the entire season, show a little montage of that, whatever. And then after that's over, the host comes back, Janisha, and she asks them, have they seen any changes in their life since being on the show? And Big Lex, she steps up and says that, you know, everybody went up a level since being on the show, and that Jocelyn did give them a platform, and she's appreciative of it, but this was a building block for Jocelyn Hernandez. Every episode has been a building block for her. And Lunell was like, well, this is her show. Like, duh, we know that. Big Lex was just saying, like, but if it wasn't for us, there would be no show. And it's like facts. Like, they literally made the show. And then Jocelyn starts going off on her, and it's like, how the fuck you here then if you didn't make no noise? Some shit. Like, honestly, I was just starting to get confused, because I'm like, Jocelyn's just making no sense. And she was like, I could have had any of y'all hoes. And then Big Lex, I like how she got in her ass. She was like, and you could have had 10 Jocelyn's around here, then do it. And she was like, don't play yourself, because if it wasn't for me and Aqua getting into it, people wouldn't have even watched. And honestly, that's facts as fuck, because I never watched the first season of Jocelyn's Cabaret. It never grasped my attention. The only reason why I watched this show and started reviewing it is because when I was on Twitter and I saw that double homicide thing, I was like, yes, I gotta watch. And then once I watched it and saw how ratchet the shit was with the girls, I was like, oh yes, I'm here for it. So she has a point. If it wasn't for the double homicide comment, nobody would be invested in the show like that. Like, give Big Lex and Aqua her credit, honestly. And then Jocelyn, you know, Jocelyn has to, I've already mentioned this before in my reviews, like, don't tell Jocelyn no personal shit, because she will literally throw it in your face and use it against you. And she started getting real nasty with Big Legs and was like, well, let's talk about you and Aqua. You talking about her kids. You don't even have custody of your daughter. And I'm like, damn. Like, that's just such a low blow. Like, why did you even have to take it there? Like, Jocelyn really is just on some bullshit, like, for real. Like, she really needs her ass beat viciously. So then Miss Natural, she hops into the fin, and she was, like, basically saying, like, you know, like, you always do this. Like, you try to use people's stuff against them, like, all that shit. Jocelyn starts coming for her. It's like, oh, you take crazy pills, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, now you're throwing out her mental health stuff. Like, there's nothing wrong with people having mental health problems or any of that, taking medication to help themselves. At least she's helping themselves. You're over here just terrorizing these girls. And like Miss Natural said, you're mad because I'm more real than you. You need therapy. You're so hurtful. Like, period. Like, at least Miss Natural's getting the help she needs. Jocelyn, you're over here acting like an asshole, and you really showing your ass. Like, the amount of drags I've seen on Twitter, and I'll probably post some of the things that I've seen, but she is getting dragged and she needs to. Like, I hope she realizes she's about to lose a gang of people, a gang of followers. Because no lie, after this, I'm probably going to unsubscribe from Zeus too, because it's just like, what the fuck? So then Jocelyn, like I said, Jocelyn can't handle the heat, so she has to start throwing out personal shit. And she was like, you're a porn star, you're a porn star. And honestly, it had me fucking dying, because when Natural was like, nah, I'm a legend, I was crying, because honestly, if you know, you know, and that shit is facts. And then she was basically saying how, like, oh, I don't suck dick no more. And she was like, y'all could give up my lie, I don't care about being on no season 3. Like, for real, like, fuck this shit. And honestly, I don't even know why Jocelyn's talking about, oh, you a porn star, you this and that. Because if we being real, like, Jocelyn definitely did porn too and got dragged for it. Like, they definitely said her puss looked like pastrami or like roast beef. So I'm like, I don't know why she's talking, like, literally. But when Miss Natural said that whole thing about I'm a legend, I literally could have stood up and just slow clap, because like I said, facts. So then Jocelyn, you know, she's intimidated by Miss Natural and jealous. So she starts telling security to get Miss Natural off the stage and there won't be no reunion if she's on stage. Jocelyn's honestly just lame as fuck, honestly. Like, she's really like a weak ass bitch. And I like how the host Janisha jumped in and she was like, I mean, there's no reunion right now. Like, come on, like, let's get professional with this. Like, what, this shit's ghetto. I think Miss Natural had like stood up, because at this point, Miss Natural's already been let it know, like, bitch, like, what's up? But Jocelyn gets up and she walks off stage and she's talking to producers like, get her out of there, get her out of there. And Ballistic's trying to calm things down. He's like, look, let's just take her, Miss Natural, to a back room and then bring her on stage later. And Jocelyn's just like, no, blah, blah, blah. So Miss Natural does get up and leave. And when they're showing her leaving, like walking through backstage, and she's telling the cameras to stop recording her. By the way, I love Miss Natural's jacket. It's like the little Martin 90s thing going on. I need that. But she's telling them to stop recording her. And at one point, because they didn't stop, and at one point she literally looks to someone on the producers or cast or whatever, and she was like, you a woman. I could beat your ass. Stop recording me. So then it shows back to the girls on stage. And Lunel starts talking about how Miss Natural is sensitive and she needs counseling. I don't know why Lunel is so on Miss Natural's, like, just so, like, just hopping down her throat. Like, I really don't get it. Like, I'm just confused. Like I said, right now, Lunel's looking like a little lapdog for Jocelyn. Just barking for her. Like, shut the fuck up. I don't even know why you're here as a host. Like, literally. Because you're adding nothing and you're making shit, honestly, worse. And even the other host, Janisha, is trying to defend her. And she was like, but Miss Natural's really talented. Like, Janisha got some sense. Like, she's, like I said, once again, she in the back of her head, like, this shit is ghetto. So yeah, that was basically the end of part 1. Like I said, very, very crazy. They show the highlights for the next episode for the part 2. And basically the highlights go a little bit like this. We got Boss Tech going off on Big Lex. They're getting at her whole daughter situation again. Barbie talking about her whole pimp situation. Miss Natural does come back out, which I'm so excited for, because honestly, if they were going to have her leave for the whole thing, I probably wouldn't have watched it. And then Ballistic is going off on somebody, standing up, calling people hoes and bitches. That's confusing. And then a fight is possibly going to happen. Jocelyn gets up and is about to throw something. The shit is crazy. But if you like this review, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow me on my socials, and I'll see y'all next week. Thanks for watching.